All right, people, this is a dating and relationship Q&A, so either drop your question in the chat or hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and I will bring you up and we'll talk about your issue. All right? So let me scroll back up. What does intentional dating look like these days? It's been a while. Um, it's difficult. It is difficult. The word intention tends to scare people away, unfortunately, especially women. Even though everybody says they want something that's intentional, they want people to move in an intentional way. The cost of that, the scary aspect of that is when you move with intention, it means that you and this person are actually heading somewhere into like a fixed state, some sort of relational container. And a lot of people don't want that right at the beginning. There are certain people who do, right? Like if you date within Christian communities, right? Intentionality is very much appreciated, right? But from a worldly perspective, you will pay a price for it in today's dating marketplace. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have intentions. That just means that you don't put that intentional pressure on the dynamic too soon, right? So you're not asking somebody how many kids they want on the first date, that kind of shit, right? Because in doing so, you're going to scare them off. What works in today's environment, today's dating landscape, is a very light touch. You got to let people like metabolize the connection a little bit. It's annoying, but that's just how you got to do it. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can't see you for some reason.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
No, not like your camera. I don't even see you on the screen like I'm talking to somebody. I just heard you pop up, so I knew you were there. I think
Yeah,
something.
that's weird. I also see black. Hold on, let me see if I can get out and come back in and redo it.
Yeah, I don't think it's you, bro. I think something's just going on with TikTok right now, just in general.
Okay, I mean, I guess if you can hear me, do you just want to do it
Yeah,
this
you could
way?
just ask the question. It's all good.
Yeah, so I just kind of want to update you that I think you're right with the girl I met last week. It wasn't going to work out, and I thought. I was thinking positive, but it didn't work out. But I mean, she eventually did respond, so I thought, okay, maybe try to figure out what she likes and set up something, for like a first date and like so kind of backstory
Hold
to
on one
it.
second, bro. Hold on one second. Can you take yourself down and then come back because the chat's saying they can't hear you? So let's try to bring you back up again.
All right.
Okay, appreciate you. I'm gonna bring up somebody else in the meantime to see if like that works. This is weird. Weird, weird, weird. Okay, let me bring them back up. It's the same thing. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
gonna work, man. I don't know if it's gonna work. Okay, you repeat your situation. I'll repeat it for the chat, and then we may have to restart the whole thing. But go ahead and tell me your situation again. You said this. You're calling back from a previous conversation that we had.
yes,
Okay. So, and this was the woman that you met like during speed dating.
yes.
Okay. And then what happened?
So we exchanged. Went up to her. Asked if I said we had conversations and. There's a lot of similarities. Would you be open to if I get your number? She said yes. Um, so then after a day or two, I said, hey, are you interested in talking, maybe going on dates or take, where it goes from there? She said, yeah, I'm interested.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so then, I kind of text her, but then she didn't really reply at first. So then that's why I went to, I think when my first time I came with you, you mentioned that this might not work out, and I got to improve my confidence, and I agree. Confidence is something that that makes that is attractive to women.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, fine, maybe this might not work. And then I got a response from her, and she's like, sorry, I've been kind of in jury duty all day. Um, and then she responded after we spoke, and then basically I was trying to get an idea of like, okay, what kind of date do you like? Do you like if you go into a restaurant, just kind of, maybe getting dinner or lunch or something, and kind of go from there, or do you prefer coffee dates? And she said coffee dates. So I'm like, okay, so I was thinking at first, okay, let's try to meet halfway because she's like an hour from me. So we meet halfway, so it's works for both of us. Um, and I kind of had an idea of where to take her, but then when she's like, I don't drive, so I would prefer if you came to me. And and I said, okay, fine. So I looked at like different coffee shops in the area, and there was like at least like 40, 50. So I kind of made a list of, some places to go that had good reviews, but at the same time, I wanted to ask her what her preference is, what places she likes, right? So we can go somewhere there. And it turned out one of the places I listed was one of the places she liked. So I'm like, okay, that's great.
Okay, let's try to speed up a little bit, boss man. So
Okay.
you,
So
okay,
basically, I try to pick out, what other interests she had, and like she liked the museum, art gallery. So I found something nearby, like walking distance, where we can get coffee and also maybe like check out some place and just have a conversation. But then she never responded for like a couple days.
okay,
So then I'm like, I reached out to her. I was like, everything okay? Is this something I said? Like, what's going on? And then she's like, sorry, I've been kind of busy. It's been a busy week, but I just don't feel like there's any spark between us.
gotcha.
So,
Okay, we can stop there. We can stop there. Okay, I'm gonna chat. I'm gonna tell you what he said. I'm gonna answer his question. I'm gonna end the live per Zion's recommendation, and then see if I can update the app because there's obviously something going on with TikTok. But essentially, this was the caller who called in a few days ago, met a woman at a speed dating event, and got her number. And he texted her after the speed dating event, and she didn't respond. And he called in basically telling me about the situation. I told him that, how he was kind of coming across was like low energy and not really authoritative, and someone who exuded confidence and certainty, and that he would have to work on that a little bit, which he received, right? And after that conversation, she ended up actually texting him back. And they were starting to figure out the logistics. He found out that she didn't drive, so he called back in asking if he should actually go to her, go closer to her, or try to figure out some other arrangements. And me and the rest of the chat said, go to her, essentially, right? Go closer to her. So now he's calling back saying that he was trying to figure out what she was into, what places she would like to go for the first date. She told him like coffee, right? And then he was looking at coffee shops and asking her which coffee shop was like one that she wanted to go to. And then she answered that question. Then she stopped responding again, to which she reached out and said like, yeah, is everything okay? Was it something I said? And then she apologized, said that she just been busy, but she didn't really feel a spark in the connection. Okay.
yeah.
Now, that lack of spark basically was from your first impression. So everything that I told you about how you conducted yourself during the speed dating event is the reason why there was no spark there. But she also was at the speed dating event, which means she's not having her way out here in this dating world. So she likely agreed to go out with you because it's like, I might as well do something, right? That's likely with the situation. You were like in a maybe category. You understand? But the way that you engaged her after that though was progressively less attractive. Okay? So you already started off as like not very attractive in just how you were carrying yourself. And then the way that you were engaging her and texting her, it just kept dropping, right? So, example, you're asking her what she wants to do. So you're not leading the dynamic, right? You should like choose something, and if she doesn't want to do it, then we can like course correct. But don't be like, what do you want to do? Because now you're making her do all the work. You're essentially making her plan the date. Do you understand?
Yeah, I was just trying to, make plan, but try to get her opinion as well.
Yeah, don't do that. I understand. It comes from a good place. You're trying to be thoughtful. It's unattractive though. right?
Yeah.
So like you need to have a plan. And then if she can't do or doesn't want to do what you want, if then you can be like, okay, and start to make it a more collaborative experience. But the assumption should be that like the woman would prefer for you to go ahead and just take the reins on this, right? So that's the first thing. So not only did you ask what she was into, then it was like, okay, now where do you want to go? Like, okay, you want to do coffee. Where do you want to do coffee, right? So like now you're really making her cover all the logistical concerns. So you haven't really done any work yet. You're just asking her what she wants to do. So now she has to plan the date, right? Unattractive. So you're dropping, right? Then when she stopped responding, you hit her up and you said, "Is everything okay? Did I say something wrong?" So now you're becoming like apologetic, right? Like did I say something wrong, right? You're assuming that the issue is on your end, that you turned her off, right? Which is true, but you shouldn't have that assumption. So that's why she said there was no spark. It's like they already didn't start off strong, and then it just progressively fell from there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your feedback. And again, this is just where I was coming from. Obviously, yes, the man has to make the initiative, um, but I just wanted to get an idea of what she likes, so I can kind of choose a place. Um, and like I said, if it was like just going to one spot, maybe just do the coffee, I think that would be good. But I also thought if we kind of walk a little bit, go to some other place in the area, that's more convenient for her, and we just get to know each other better. That's why I was trying to plan to do a coffee date, and then also, go to like a museum or gallery in the area, and just kind of get to know each other better. But I'm just wondering, like, okay, maybe like I said, maybe she was in the market. That's why she just gave me a chance. But why do you think some women like just not say no? You know what I mean? Like instead of leading on, saying maybe you could be interested, maybe not, and then it just
She was trying
ends
to give
up.
it a she was trying to give it a chance. And you don't know her conditions. So he's basically asking me like, why do some women just not say no if they're not interested? Why do they kind of feign interest and then just reveal the truth eventually, right?
Right.
Um, I mean, you don't know her situation. She could have been someone who like turned down a lot of options and that left her destitute, like where there was just no romantic options left, and then she's made the decision to now be a bit more open, right? So there's a multitude of different reasons, but again, meeting her within the context where you met her shows that she was in the space where she's not in a position to where like she's just choosing whoever she wants, right?
Right.
You don't end up in a speed dating event if that's the situation that you're in. So she probably was just trying to give it a shot to see. And every time you engaged her, it was basically telling her that, giving her more and more certainty that this was just not going to work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Okay. You would benefit greatly if you got the course, my man. That's why some people in the chat were saying to get it. The link is in bio for that. But there's a lot of assumptions that you're making that are actively hurting you, right? So you would do very well to educate yourself on just the basics of attraction, and that will put you in a much better position. Okay?
Okay,
All
I'll
right.
definitely check it out.
Sounds good, brother. You take care.
All
Keep me
right.
posted. All right, chat. I'm going to restart. I'm gonna see if I can update TikTok because obviously something's going on with the app. So I'm gonna end this live, and I'm going to see if I can update the app, and I'll come back. If it still doesn't work, then I'll just see y'all at 9 p.m. So I'll be back momentarily.